G'day lawnies, get your lawn on. This video is an update on my lawn which I put down a week ago, and it's going quite well, as you can see. So I just want to thank all you lawnies out there for your support. I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is just massive. Thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and like this video if you do. It helps me grow. Well, let's take a look at the lawn. This is Santa Ana lawn that went down a week ago. The stuff closest to the house has been there for a couple of months, and if you've been following my journey with this lawn, I grew this area in here. The bit that's not next to the house, there's like a bit of a gap of sand in the middle there. It wasn't the same type as what's next to the house, so I gutted it, put all the same stuff down, which is nullarbor couch from the turf farm, but you know, it's also known as Santa Ana. So let's take a look at it, and look, all I've done to it is just water it with syringe watering about 5 to 6 times a day for 5 minutes each time, and it's doing quite well. But what I'm going to be doing now is putting down some humic acid and some soil wetter, just to really help the soil start accepting nutrients and water, which is the main thing that this lawn needs at the moment is water, water, water. It doesn't want to be drying out. Already the roots are attaching to the ground. They're hard to pull up, and it is growing, and look, it is almost ready for a mow, and I considered it today, but look, the next 2 days are 37 and very, very windy, so very, very hot, so I'm just going to let that pass and then keep the water up to it, obviously, but then a couple of days after that I'll probably give it its first mow. Yeah, so it's doing very, very well. It's almost matching up the green already with the bit that's next to the house. I ran short a bit and also ran out a bit of sand, so that was a bit annoying, but that's the way it goes. I did have one bit and that just the water didn't get to, and she's burnt up a little bit. It's been a really hectic week with this lawn since I put in the lawn, because the weather has just been up and down like a dog's bum. It really has. It's been hot and windy for a couple of days, and then one day it goes down in temperature. So we also had a day of 40 here with just high winds. The tree here lost its branches and unfortunately landed on my car that was parked there, so that wasn't ideal. But yeah, so where am I going from here is now to get that humic acid into the soil and the soil wetter. I'm a little bit behind in my program, obviously, because you know, I gutted a bit, so the bit next to the house I haven't done any treatments for a couple of weeks. Normally I would have done my soil wetter at the start of the month, but you know, that's the way it is with this lawn at the moment. So yeah, the whole idea with the humic acid is you get that into the soil. The humic is negatively charged. It accepts nutrients which are positively charged and will hold on to them. And when it gets near the root system of the plant, well, that's more negatively charged. So those positive atoms of the nutrients will go to the thing that's got the biggest negative charge. So it'll go from the humic acid, or the humus, should I say, to the root of the plant. So that's sort of how that works. Soil wetter, well, that's just to make the soil accept water, not go hydrophobic, evenly distribute the water and keep it at the root zone and save that bit of evaporation. So let's get the mix going. Now, humic acid, you can have that as a soil soak, or you can have that as a foliar treatment. I'm choosing to do it as a soil soak today, simply because I want that product in the soil, and I'm going to mix it with moist. Now, it says here on the label that you need to put quite a bit of water in it. So if you were using 200 mils, you'd need about 20 litres of water. So I've got about 20, 25, 30 perhaps. I didn't measure it, but I half filled this tank, which is a 75 litre tank. So I'm going to cheat a little bit today. Usually I half fill it, then put the product in, then half fill it, but just for ease, I'm going to just get right into it. Now that humic acid is quite black and cluggy, so that's probably why you need the extra water in there. So I've got 200 mils, because my area is almost about 100 square meters, and I'm going to go about 200 moist. I'm just going to guess it, not go overboard. It's probably about 200. So now I'm going to mix that for a little while. And just give that a good chance to mix. All right, so while I'm about that, while we're letting that mix in, I'll take you of a quick tour of the backyard and see how that's going. Today's the 13th of November. On the 20th of November, I'll have some Tiff Tuff coming. And this is what it's looking like at the moment. I've got all that sand nice and flat. My sprinklers are in. And that's ready to go. Now really, I could do a humic treatment of this, but seeing as I've got the surface so perfect, I don't really want to muck it up. So I'm just going to let it be, and I'll do my humic and soil wetter soon after I put this all in with Tiff Tuff. So this stuff that's, a few of the grass bits there in next to the lawn there and all that, I will glyphosate that today. Get rid of that. We don't want that growing into our Tiff Tuff. And that'll be fine too, because glyphosate won't last on the soil. It works in the leaf, so it won't affect anything that I put down in a week's time after it. So it won't last in the soil that long, is what I'm probably trying to say. But yeah, I've got sprinklers all around here, 15 split into 2 zones, and I've got 6 in here. And obviously I've got some work around the edges to do and everything like that. But I'll get to that after I've done the turf. And look up. And this area here is going to be for the shed, which is going to be supplied by ABSCO. So great thanks to them. And the ABSCO shed will be one of the grass off prizes. December, January is the grass off, so look out for that one. So I've been madly working away these last 2 weeks, just trying to get this area really sorted and ready to go. And yeah, I've also been doing the program, and I'll have that out before the 1st of December. It'll be a nice, easy to read format. I think it's 24 or 25 pages long, so it's quite extensive, and it really goes into the nitty gritty. So that'll be free, and that'll be on the website lawnpornonline.com. All right, so that's been mixing for a good probably almost 10 minutes now. So let's get into the spraying. Now it'll take quite a few passes. And after I've done this, I'm going to be irrigating for 20 to 30 minutes. Lovely, love this machine. Now, this little gap that's in between the lawn here, which is sand, I got an interesting email, I can't remember his name, and it talks about half mooning. And basically what half mooning is getting like a pro plugger, which I do have, chucking it in there, turning it around so half of the dirt and half of the grass gets turned around 180 degrees, and it's sort of like practically triples the way that it can fill in. I did know about it. Andrew Melville told me about it about 6 months ago, but I really appreciate the email. It's emails like that that's are just fantastic to receive. So what's going to be the first lot of fertiliser that I'm going to do here? It'll be launched at a 50 mil rate, mixed in with root builder 50 mil rate, so low rates. Launch is a great fertiliser for getting the roots going. So it's a great conditioning fertiliser. So the thing to do now is put the irrigation on. So I'll do that. So I'm going to put it on for 30 minutes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up 10 minutes each zone and do that 3 times. That way it's not sitting there. It's starting to get fairly warm here. And there you have it. Now, you know, like I could wait for this to dry and then do a sneaky launch app straight after it. Launch root builder, 50 mils. But look, I think I'll just let it be, and I'll try my luck after the mini heat wave we're getting this weekend with 37 each day. So, and you know, the wind's coming up a little bit too. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Be sure to like and subscribe and get your lawn on.